Behind every great leader, brand, or legacy is a story well told. Welcome to the Untold X, where story becomes strategy. Decode the craft, master the message. The clock ticks, the fire beckons. Let's begin. Before you set a single word down on paper, before your fingers even dance across the keyboard, you must first ask, what is it that you want to say? What truth, what yearning, what secret melody does your heart hold? Is it a story of triumph over adversity, a ballad of love lost and found, a chilling whisper of the mysteries that lurk beneath the surface of our everyday lives? Don't be afraid to dig deep, to unearth the raw, pulsing core of your narrative. For your story's purpose is its compass, guiding every choice you make, every character you breathe life into, every twist and turn of the path you lay before your audience. Who are these souls gathered around your metaphorical fire, eager to be swept away by your words? Are they dreamers and doers, cynics and believers, the hopeful and the heartbroken? Understand their longings, their fears, the unspoken questions that keep them awake beneath a star-dusted sky. Only then can you begin to build a bridge between your truth and their hearts. Remember, stories have the power to inspire, to console, to incite revolutions, both personal and global. What mark do you wish to leave upon the world with yours? Imagine a musician preparing to enchant an audience. They wouldn't play a soaring orchestral piece for a crowd seeking the intimacy of a folk song, would they? In the same way, a master storyteller understands the importance of tailoring their tale to the hearts and minds they wish to touch. Who are these fellow travelers on your narrative journey? Are they seasoned adventurers hungry for tales of daring and wonder, or weary souls seeking solace and connection? Consider their age, their background, the tapestry of experiences that color their perception of the world. Speak their language, not just in terms of vocabulary and cadence, but also in the emotions and themes you choose to explore. A story about the bittersweet pangs of first love might resonate deeply with a younger audience, while a tale of resilience and reinvention might strike a chord with those who have weathered life's storms. Remember, every audience is a universe unto itself, filled with unique dreams, fears, and aspirations. Take the time to study their constellations, and you'll discover the hidden pathways to their hearts. Just as an architect relies on blueprints to create a magnificent structure, a storyteller must master the art of structure to craft a narrative that is both captivating and coherent. Think of it as the scaffolding upon which you hang your tapestries of words, the invisible framework that holds your audience spellbound. One of the most enduring and effective structures is the classic three-act structure. Act 1, the beginning, is where you set the stage, introducing your characters, their desires, and the world they inhabit. This is where you plant the seeds of intrigue that will blossom into full-blown fascination. Act 2, the middle, is where conflict arises, testing your characters and propelling them on their transformative journeys. Here the stakes are raised, tensions simmer, and the audience finds themselves leaning closer, holding their breath, desperate to know what happens next. Act 3, the end, is where all the threads you've so carefully woven converge. Conflicts are resolved, lessons are learned, and a sense of catharsis washes over both the characters and the audience. This is the satisfying exhale after a held breath, the final brushstroke on a masterpiece. But remember, structure is not about rigid adherence to formula. It's about creating a satisfying and engaging rhythm for your story, an ebb and flow of tension and release that keeps your audience hooked until the very last word. Characters are the beating heart of any good story, the vessels through which your audience experiences the world you've created. They should be as real and flawed and gloriously human as the people we encounter in our everyday lives. Give them dreams, give them fears, give them secrets that keep them tossing and turning long after the sun has set. Let them surprise you with their choices, with their moments of both breathtaking courage and frustrating fallibility. Remember, even the most fantastical creatures, the gods and monsters that stalk our myths and legends, are ultimately reflections of ourselves. They embody our hopes, our anxieties, the eternal struggle between darkness and light that plays out within each and every one of us. Don't be afraid to imbue your characters with contradictions, with rough edges and hidden depths. Let them make mistakes, let them grow, let them break our hearts and then mend them again with their hard-won wisdom. For it is in these imperfections, these glimpses of shared humanity, that your audience will find themselves truly captivated, recognizing their own joys and sorrows reflected in the souls you've breathed to life. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and nowhere is this truer than in the art of storytelling. Don't just tell your audience about the world you've created, about the emotions that crackle in the air like lightning. Show them. Use vivid imagery, sensory details that awaken their senses and transport them to the heart of your story. Describe the scent of pine needles after a rain shower, the taste of salt spray on a windswept cliff, the feel of cool silk beneath a lover's touch. Instead of simply stating that a character is sad, describe the way their shoulders slump, how their eyes seem to have lost their light, how even their voice sounds like a faded photograph. Let your audience feel the weight of their sorrow, the ache in their heart, as if it were their own. Remember, the human imagination is a vast and wondrous landscape, eager to be explored. By providing the map, the sensory landmarks, you empower your audience to become active participants in your story, to co-create the world and its inhabitants alongside you. And in that shared act of creation, something truly magical occurs. The line between storyteller and listener blurs, and for a few precious moments we find ourselves united in the boundless realm of imagination. Stories at their core are about connection. They're about forging invisible threads of empathy between strangers, about reminding us that despite our differences, we share a common human experience. And what is at the heart of this shared experience? Emotion. Don't shy away from the raw, messy, exhilarating tapestry of human emotions. Let your characters experience joy so profound it makes their chests ache, grief so sharp it steals their breath, love so fierce it sets their souls ablaze. Conflict is the crucible in which emotions are forged. It tests our characters, pushes them to their limits, and forces them to confront their deepest fears and desires. Without conflict, there can be no growth, no change, no satisfying arc to your narrative. But remember, conflict doesn't always have to manifest in grand, explosive gestures. Sometimes the most powerful battles are fought within the silent chambers of the heart, the agonizing choices between duty and desire, the struggle to reconcile who we are with who we long to be. By crafting moments of genuine emotional resonance, you invite your audience to not just observe, but to feel alongside your characters. And in that shared emotional journey, you create a bond that transcends the page or the screen, a connection that lingers long after the story has ended. The crucible of creation. Refining through fire and feedback. The first draft is just that. A first attempt, a lump of clay waiting to be molded by the skilled hands of a sculptor. Don't be afraid to be ruthless in your revisions, to chip away at the excess, to polish the rough edges until your story gleams. Read your work aloud, listening for clunky phrases, awkward transitions, places where the rhythm falters or the emotional impact falls flat. Your ears are often your best editors, catching things your eyes might miss. Seek feedback from trusted sources, fellow writers, beta readers, or even friends and family members whose opinions you value. Be open to constructive criticism, even if it stings a little at first. Remember, every piece of feedback, however difficult to hear, is an opportunity for growth. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try different approaches, to kill your darlings if it serves the story. Sometimes the most difficult cuts are the ones that ultimately make your narrative stronger, more cohesive, more impactful. Writing, like any art form, is a process of constant refinement. Embrace the journey, the stumbles and triumphs alike. For it is in the crucible of creation, through fire and feedback, that your story will find its true form, its voice, its power to enchant. The power of you unleashing your authentic voice. In a world saturated with stories, with voices clamoring for attention, the most powerful thing you can be is yourself. your unique perspective, your lived experiences, your particular way of seeing the world. These are the things that will set your stories apart. Don't try to imitate other writers, no matter how much you admire their work. Your voice, like your fingerprint, is one of a kind. Embrace its quirks, its cadences, its particular brand of magic. Write about what you're passionate about, what keeps you up at night, what makes your heart soar. Authenticity shines through, and readers can tell when a story comes from a place of genuine passion. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to share your truths, your doubts, your moments of both triumph and despair. It is in these cracks, these glimpses of shared humanity, that your readers will find themselves connecting with you on a deeper level. Remember, your voice matters. Your story deserves to be told. So step into your power, embrace your authenticity, and let your words ignite the world. Beyond the page, your story, your canvas, your world. We live in an age of unprecedented storytelling possibilities. The digital landscape has become our shared campfire, where tales are spun across multiple platforms, reaching audiences far and wide. Don't limit yourself to the written word alone. Explore other mediums, other forms of creative expression. Perhaps your story would soar as a graphic novel with vivid illustrations bringing your characters and settings to life. Maybe it yearns to be a podcast where listeners can lose themselves in the nuances of voice acting and sound design. Or perhaps it's destined to become an animated short film where movement and music enhance the emotional impact of your narrative. The key is to experiment, to play, to embrace the boundless possibilities of modern storytelling. Don't be afraid to collaborate with artists from other disciplines, to combine your talents and create something truly unique. Remember, your story has the power to transcend boundaries, to connect with people from all walks of life. So choose the canvas that best suits your vision and let your imagination run wild. The journey never ends, a lifelong love affair with storytelling. The world of storytelling is vast and ever-evolving. New voices emerge, new forms of media capture our imaginations, and the ancient art of weaving narratives continues to adapt and thrive. Never stop learning, never stop exploring. Read widely, devouring books from different genres, different cultures, different time periods. Pay attention to the stories people tell in their everyday lives, the anecdotes, the jokes, the myths and legends that bind communities together. Attend workshops, conferences and festivals. Connect with fellow storytellers, share your work and learn from one another. The creative community is a wellspring of inspiration and support, a place where you can hone your craft and find your tribe. Most importantly, never lose sight of the magic. The ability to transport someone with your words, to make them laugh, cry or feel deeply is a gift. Treat it with reverence, with a sense of wonder, and never take it for granted. Remember, the journey of a storyteller is a lifelong adventure, so keep writing, keep creating, and keep sharing your unique voice with the world. For in the tapestry of human experience, every story matters. Go forth and tell your story. Mastering the art of storytelling is a journey of self-discovery, a dance between honing your craft and bearing your soul. It's about finding the courage to be vulnerable, to embrace the messy beauty of the human experience, and to share it with the world. Remember, stories have the power to heal, to inspire, to ignite revolutions, both personal and global. They can bridge divides, spark empathy, and remind us of our shared humanity. So go forth, fellow storytellers, weave your magic, share your truths, and let your voices ring out. Every storyteller starts somewhere, but mastery, that's earned. Subscribe to the Untold X and start telling stories that move the world. The world is waiting to hear what you have to say. See you in the next video.